Remember the Alamo, Day 12. Saturday, March 5th, 1836. The morning started with another officer meeting ordered by Santa Anna. It was at this meeting where he announced that the assault would commence the following day. Again, his officers advocated waiting for the arrival of the heavy artillery. According to his aide, Fernando Urissa, Santa Anna responded, "What are the lives of soldiers than so many chickens? I tell you, the Alamo must fall and my orders must be obeyed at all hazards. If our soldiers are driven back, the next line in the rear must force those before them forward and compel them to scale the walls, cost what it may." With the decision made, Santa Anna calls for reconnaissance to determine Mexican attack positions and approaches. General Juan Valentín Amador then drew up detailed battle orders. The orders instructed all men to wear shoes or sandals and to properly tie their shakos, chin straps, a tall cylindrical military cap, usually with a visor and sometimes tapered at the top. Despite the cold, soldiers were prohibited from wearing cloaks or blankets, as these might limit their movements on the battlefield. Each soldier would receive either 4 or 6 rounds of ammunition and would be given 2 flints. Mexican soldiers would be divided into 4 columns. Cos would command the first column, consisting of the Alamo battalion and 3 companies of the San Luis battalion. The remaining rifle companies of the San Luis battalion, as well as the Toluca battalion, would be under the command of Colonel Francisco Duque. A third column, commanded by Colonel Jose Maria Romero, comprised the rifle companies from the Matamoros and Jimenez battalions. The scouting companies of the Matamoros, Jimenez, and San Luis battalions would form the 4th column under Juan Morales. Santa Anna would command the reserve force, primarily the grenadier companies from each of the battalions. The cavalry would guard the camp and patrol the area around the battlefield to stop any soldier, Texian or Mexican, who attempted to desert. A messenger arrives at the Alamo compound with the news that reinforcements aren't coming. Legend holds that at some point on March 5th, Travis gathered his men and explained that an attack was likely imminent and that the Mexican army was likely to prevail. The dramatic tale did not appear in print until 1873, nearly 40 years after the battle. The man who wrote the story for the Texas Almanac, William Physic Zuber, later admitted that while he reconstructed major portions of Travis's speech, he included only 1 paragraph of fiction. Unfortunately, he did not say what paragraph that was. Travis's words are believed to have been similar to this. "We must die," he began. "Our business is not to make a fruitless effort to save our lives, but to choose the manner of our death." He saw the possibilities as surrender and summary execution, trying to fight their way out only to be butchered by Mexican lancers, or remain in this fort and resist every assault and to sell our lives as dearly as possible. After explaining that death was imminent, Travis drew his sword and slowly marked a line in the dirt. "I now want every man who is determined to stay here and die with me to come across this line." A bedridden Bowie requested that Crockett and several others carry his cot over the line. That evening, James Allen became the last courier to leave the Alamo, carrying messages from Travis and several of the other men. At 10 p.m., the Mexican artillery ceased their bombardment. As Santa Anna had planned, the exhausted Texians soon fell into a deep sleep, the first uninterrupted sleep many had gotten since the siege began. 3 Texians were sent to act as sentries outside the walls. At midnight, the Mexicans began moving into attack position.